Have you felt like you don't have any community, that you're not connected to people, even though we are so overly connected now, and you feel overwhelmed by people, but at the same time, you are so lonely? Well, welcome to the Busy Boss Mama. We're going to be talking about that today and what it means to have a community and be a part of a community. And it doesn't just mean talking with everybody in the world.
Right. It's crazy because we are in an age where we are more connected than ever in so many ways. There's people constantly with social and everything else, but I think so many of us are lonely.
Yes, we're connected in so many ways, but we are so disconnected as individuals. As
Sure.
individuals, we're so alone, and there's so much loneliness, and it's leading to so much sadness, and actually like a really large suicide rate or a drug abuse problem. Everywhere you go, there's a massive drug problem, and a lot of it's because of this isolation. People feel so isolated, even though we're so connected, but it's because we have no connection. We don't have any connection with somebody. You just look at everything that's going on, like TV.
Yeah.
Scroll and look at stuff, but you're not actually connected to anybody personally. And humans need that. It's like we've put ourselves in this strange, I was just reading about when they started in prison putting people in isolation, that was meant as a way to protect them. And then it found out that it drove them crazy. And we feel like we're connected and with people, but you're not actually. And that's why you feel like you're going crazy and you're so lonely and you're so sad. And then it creates an anxiety. So when you go out to see people socially, that then you start feeling this strange anxiety too. So it's a total snowball.
Yeah, that hit hard when you said connected but no connection. That is so true. And that is that feeling that people get these days of being so awkward talking to people in person is because you can talk all you want as a keyboard warrior, right? And type things in text, but when it comes to having that actual connection with people, we're so unused to it these days that people don't even know how to function with each other. And that's really.
When was the last time you picked up your phone and called a friend?
Yeah, think about that. When is the last time you picked up your phone and called a friend? It's crazy. I think we all even like get a little bit shocked when we see like our friend call us. If it's not, like me and you, we talk every day, but like there's plenty of friends that I feel like I'm pretty good friends with, but if I saw their name on my phone, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is an emergency. Like, why are they calling?
Yeah. Like I have friends that I text regularly and we stay in contact, but we aren't connected hearing each other's voices. And when I have seen their phone number pop up on there, I'm like, is everything okay? Or is somebody pregnant?
Or is somebody like injured or sick or
yeah. What's going on? Because those are the only times that they would call is like super big news or a super big news as an injury, or they desperately
emergency.
Yeah. So like, that's something to think about. How many people are you actually connecting with? Not just, texting each other on the messenger and DMing and who you're following and who, you interact with on the comment section. That's not connecting with somebody.
Right. It's not building a connection. And I think that we all know that COVID has really done a number on this more than anything. I mean, the combination of us getting so into technology and social media and stuff, then the COVID debacle just totally ripping everybody's connection apart. We need to work on building that up. And that's one thing with the Busy Boss Mama that particularly Crystal it's her baby, has been so passionate about. It's like, we need to build community. We need to build community. And over the last year, I mean, I've always known it, but like, I've just felt this intense gratitude for the friends that God's placed in my life, because dang, I have such amazing friends, people who I know have my back no matter what. And I think so often as I'm seeing people on social media, especially as we're getting older in this age group of like, dang, I realize I don't have any friends. Like people, so many people, I don't realize I don't really have any friends. And it's so hard to make friends as an adult. I've got really good friends who are having a hard time making friends. And I'm thinking to myself,
Um,
man, that's one area of my life where I feel like I'm so blessed. Like I have amazing friends, and not like I'm out going out all the time or whatever, but I have intense connection with as many people like that. I feel that love and surround being surrounded by that. And I think it's important, and that's something that we at Busy Boss Mama want to do. We want to create that for people. We want to create that for people. And we were just at a
yeah.
conference last week, and it popped up again in the conference, and Crystal and I looked at each other like, yeah, man, I really feel like this is something God's calling us to, because it pops up. It's been something that's been on your heart. And I have to admit, like, it wasn't something that was in the forefront of my mind until like you keep bringing it up. And then, the last week, especially, I'm like, oh man, yeah. And so this
Well,
girl
that's
at this,
because you're so connected in your community.
hmm
And for me as a military spouse, I feel like I've gone through periods where I've been so alone
yeah,
because I don't have community. And COVID just really, like, when I was praying about it and really praying, like, what is going on? What are we supposed to do? What is the solution to this? And it kept coming back to me, like, you need to be in the community. What about your neighbor in your church, the neighbor in the neighbor, like directly next door to you? How often do you talk to your neighbors? Or do you like duck out when they come
right.
in? Oh yeah, pretend like I'm on the phone, and the little half wave thing. Like, how many times have you said, oh, how are you? How are you today? Or if you see the garage door open at night, how many times do you run over there and knock on the door and say, hey, your garage door's open?
Yeah. And you know what? Now that you said that, like, this just brings to mind like a little challenge I want to offer to myself and you, Crystal, and anybody who's listening. Next time you're in line at a grocery store, resist the temptation to get out your phone and hide in your phone, because we all know that the real reason you're sitting there hiding on your phone is almost to avoid connection with other people because it's awkward, right? Like, so if you're in an elevator, what do you do? Do you strike up a conversation with the person in there, or do you just sit and look at your phone because you can act like you need to be looking at it and you're busy, and then you don't have to, can avoid that connection. Like, connection matters, you guys. It
Mhm.
matters. And
Even the awkward ones,
yeah,
and even if you're somebody who's like, but I'm an introvert, you're talking to two introverts right now. I do not
yes,
recharge with other people. I
no.
need time alone. I don't recharge with even the people closest to me, except for Steph. But like, even my husband and stuff, I need time alone where I'm like, I just need to unwind by myself. I like people. I enjoy being and visiting with my people, but I have a hard time. It drains me very much to be in big crowds. Like doTERRA convention, it was very fun. I enjoyed seeing people, but I'm telling you, I could do without seeing people, but I force myself out there because we need those connections. You absolutely need those connections. It's like exercise. You don't feel like exercising.
But
Nobody
you do it
wants
for
to
a
do
safer
it, but you do it.
And also thinking about what your connection and your effort to connect with others does for them, because
Absolutely.
everybody needs that personal relationship with others, and it's
Yeah.
important. And also,
Another challenge, like what you were saying, is when you're standing in that line, not looking at your phone, compliment somebody when you see somebody with a good hairdo, or you
mhm,
see a beautiful older person, or you see a little couple that's holding hands. Like, stop and say something and challenge yourself
mhm,
to step out of your box and say it. That's one thing I try and do. If I see somebody with gorgeous skin, flawless skin, somebody with beautiful hair. There was a lady at a coffee shop, an older woman, and man, she was beautiful. And I just stopped and I said, you are a beautiful older woman. And it
wow,
feels a little awkward. I'm
yeah,
not telling you, like, it feels a little awkward, but you could see how it was a little awkward for her at first. And then she blushed a little and you could tell she was pleased. And another lady at
right,
a coffee shop, an older lady, she had wonderful hair. And I told her she had beautiful hair. And she's like, you know what? I just really needed to hear that today.
really, wow,
You never know what it's gonna do. I had, when I first moved here, and I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for my kids to come out of a class together. A lady saw me. She was sitting in the car next to me. She comes over, knocks on my window and says, "Can I go and get you a coffee?" And now we're friends.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
she was
Oh, I remember
inviting me
that.
into herself in a way.
Right.
So, like, make those connections.
Yeah, it matters. And also like it goes into being deliberate about like surrounding yourself with people who help you be what you want to be. I
Mhm.
mean, we, especially as moms, in our world of like, especially social media and being surrounded by this idea of perfection that's unattainable and mom guilt, we need a tribe of women that we feel like we can surround ourselves with. Um, we had heard this story at a convention of like how elephants, like female elephants, surround a birthing elephant, or when there's attack, like all the females surround her so that no predators can see in and they just protect her. And I think that we all need that. We all need females to be around us to know that they've got our back if something's wrong, right? If something happens, if we need somebody, to talk to, or we're struggling, or we have tragedy or anything like that, we need to build that. And so we're trying to build that. There
Yeah.
was a story that we heard about, just, I think that we can all relate to. And I did a video about it just the other day, about like the lunch table, like when you're a kid sitting at lunch in the
Well, not
lunchroom
even
and
sitting. You walk in with your tray and you look
with your
around.
tray. Yeah, and you're like, I don't know where to sit. Like, I don't know, who do I sit with? Do I have any friends? And it's so awkward. And, or we all know what it's like to see that person and think, oh, you know how she feels. And we
Mhm.
just want to build a gathering table where we can be like, hey, you want to come sit with us? Come sit with
Yeah.
us. Like, that's what that is like becoming more at the forefront of our mission at Busy Boss Mama. We have a very specific, we feel like we're super clear on what we're trying to help women with, right? We're trying to help women up level in their health and in their habits and in their focus and overall fulfillment in life. And part of that is having a community. And through that, we want to build a community of women who are working towards those things, who want those things, who want um, just to be the best version of themselves in every area of their life. And we want to come alongside you so that we can all be together and welcome other women in. So if you're watching this and you resonate with that message, please do share this video, share our channel, share what we're doing, because without community, guys, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
And so essentially we want to invite you to come sit with us.
Yeah.
Come sit
Come
with
to
us.
our
And
lunch table.
yes, come to
Come
our
join
lunch
us.
table. Come
If
join our mission of what we're doing so that we can support one another in creating more focus in our lives, more fulfillment in every area, um, serving God better through serving others, and up-leveling our health and living our best. So
Yeah.
if that sounds good to you and you're like, yeah, I do kind of want a tribe of women, comment on our podcast, comment on our videos, find us on social media, go to our website at busybossmama.com, and you can join our email list so that you can come sit at our table.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Come join
We'll talk
us.
to you next time on the Focus and Fulfill podcast.
Bye.